Fuck it. Today I'm gonna go off script a little bit. So, for any of you who follow me on social media, you probably know that I've alluded to it, or more than alluded, I've just straight up said it, that I'm not voting for any candidate. Also, the title for sure says it. But, yeah, so I am not going to vote for any of the candidates this time around. I think I've said in the past that I am for strategic voting. And in this case, I don't see an actual strategic vote that would need to be made. Now, when it comes to, there are reasons why I would have voted earlier on in the election. Now that I don't see Trump as a threat, especially in the state that I live, any of you who follow me on social media should know that I live in Massachusetts, which is a very blue state. It also voted for Hillary in the primary. So I'm not worried that the state isn't going to go to Hillary, that it's going to go to Trump or anything like that. And I'm also not worried that somehow Stein voters are going to just decrease Hillary's numbers and that Trump will become president based off of that. No, I'm looking at a case where I don't see any reason I would need to vote. I've made jokes saying that I would vote for Max Stirner, and I'm also not that big of a fan of Max Stirner, by the way. It's just an easy joke to make due to all the Stirner memes. But, yeah, so I'm going to run down a quick list of reasons why I'm not voting for each candidate. I'm not voting for Trump because he's a loon and he's genocidally insane, and a lot of his rhetoric mirrors that of someone like Hitler. Not all of it. I wouldn't say he's a full-on fascist. I would call him a quasi-fascist. And then you get libertarian candidate Gary Johnson, or should I call him failed Republican candidate? Because he sure as hell is not libertarian. But Gary Johnson, I'm not voting for him because he lives in a world where Ayn Rand is taken seriously. Now, I don't know whether he's actually a fan of Ayn Rand or not. I'm just making the point that it's like, when it comes down to it, libertarian candidates, their economic policies are just way too fucking out there. And they could easily crash the economy, same way that Trump could. So, you've got a loon, you've got a moron, and then you've got Hillary. Now, this is who I would vote for if I thought Trump had a danger of getting elected. But looking at his polls, he is probably not going to get elected, and Hillary is pretty much guaranteed the presidency at this point. I don't fear that if I don't vote or other people who don't want to vote decide not to vote, because I think that it's really all the people who are going to vote have already given their support to one candidate or another. So I'm not afraid that people who just have decided not to vote anyway are going to vote for Trump or anything like that. So I'm not worried that I don't think my vote will count towards anything, which is why I'm not going to vote for Hillary. Not to mention that she has a history of imperialism as Secretary of State and First Lady of the United States, and she is one of the most neoliberal Democrats that we have ever had, along with Obama and her husband Bill. And then we've now got Green Party candidate Jill Stein. Now I know that the Green Party, at least in America, is associated with the word socialism, which is kind of a misnomer. It's really more social democracy, welfare statism, which is not socialism. But they are much more progressive than the Democratic Party, at least in general. So, if I was forced to vote, I would vote Jill Stein. but I don't think it actually really matters all that much. So, I would, in that case, vote for Jill Stein. But there's also some crazy things about the Green Party, and I'm not sure, and I don't think that this is something I should necessarily associate with Jill Stein. I think that a lot of the anti-science loons who have left leanings economically and politically, or maybe even socially, just kind of fall into these anti-science, into this conspiratorial thinking. So there's some very anti-GMO people it's a very anti-GMO platform, and it's a very anti-vax platform, which has definitely turned me away, as I myself am autistic. So when it comes to ableism, it is very hard for me to pull myself to vote for someone like Jill Stein or a Green Party candidate based on the very anti-science, anti-vax kind of opinion. I really fucking hate anti-vaxxers when it comes to that. So there's anti-vax, and then anti-GMO. Now, I'm not a big fan of Monsanto or anything like that. I do think that there's some corporate reasons why you would be against at least GMOs how they are now. But when it comes to GMOs as a concept, which is where you get like the Alex Jones who claim that it's turning the frogs gay. So yeah, you're going to get these anti-GMO people who, now I hate the corporate structure of Monsanto, but I'm not against the idea of GMOs which can make it so that food is healthier, more food can grow, or it can grow in much less nutritious soil. So I am not against genetically modifying or genetically engineering fruit and vegetables for this purpose, but I am against the fact that it is a corporate monopoly. So there is a difference on that. So that's kind of gets into my reasons why I'm not voting for the Green Party, even though I think the Green Party, like if I was voting based on how close to me in opinion someone is, I'd vote Green Party, because I'm a strategic voter and not a conscience voter, because I am anti-state, and I understand that there are some anti-state people who are anti-conscience, but because I'm although on yay or nay votes, of course, at that point, it would be a vote of conscience along with a strategic vote, because I do believe in voting on referendums. But ultimately, because I'm a strategic voter, I don't actually see any need for me to put my vote in there. So since I don't see a need for me to put my vote in there, I'm just going to stay at home. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, this quick little ramble. Now, if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, you can subscribe. And you can also hit the bell icon if you want to see every time a video comes up. And if you want to tell me anything, like tell me how I'm such a faggot beta cuck, well, your comment will get deleted. But if you want to comment, you can. Alright, now I will my next video will be on the golden one. This I promise, and if I don't keep my promise, then I will put up all your comments about how I'm a faggot beta cuck. Bye!